search for knowledge begins! Ah! I've no idea where in Orbis to look for my old colleague Martina. But I know she was working with a Daedric consultant, a creature named Tim. If we can summon Tim, we can find... Indubitably, I knew I was right about you. Now, an esteemed elder within the ciphers once summoned forth this Daedra. If we can find the... You've never been to the Library of Dusk, I take it. Or the forbidden section of Gwillem University. Dedicated scholars must develop their own search magics. I'll begin the incantation. Just be ready for anything. Apocrypha. Incantus eruditum. Abyssal sea, hear my call. Hide the secrets beneath this scroll. The rune form is complete. Follow where it leads. Tome Show has the text. Get after it. The chase is on. Excellent work. Ha! That was bracing. Pity the tome will smell like transliminal parasite now. Let's see what it says. Here's the ritual to summon Tim. Easy enough, just a question of the appropriate summoning materials. We'll need expunged tome dust, the talon of a seeker, and black ichor from the spoomy pools of Apocrypha. Let me mark your map. Seekers tend the flora of the region. Their talons often break off in the resin. And there should be plenty of tome dust scraped from parchment in the cipher's midden expungatory. Try to get some from a Daedric incantation. I'll procure that, worry not. Don't want you to think I'm taking advantage of your assistance. Once you have the dust and talon, we'll meet back up at the ritual site I've marked on your map. What do you say? The tome dust should be found in the cipher's midden expungatory, while seekers tend to congregate around those resin plants to the southwest. Easy enough, and soon we'll be talking to Tim. Well, I should hope so. I've been coming here for years. Fascinating place. You can learn the ways of the Arcanists back home, of course, but to truly understand the forces of fate, tides and the abyssal sea, there's nowhere else like it. Oh, here and there, you know. I'm no youngster,
Building up a stash. Good thinking.
Over here, Proxy. I trust your trip through the endless library was not too unsettling. The winding paths of Apocrypha can prove troubling to those unfamiliar with its preternature. Cipher's Midden contains a wellspring of knowledge. Shall we begin our research? The ciphers of the Eye offer hospitality and refuge to mortals who arrive in Apocrypha, whether purposefully or by accident. However, I am reluctant to involve them in this endeavor. Fortunately, I have my own methods for conducting research. The contents of these stacks change from moment to moment, such as the nature of this realm's thirst for knowledge. I can prepare a spell scroll for each of us. As you search, it will dredge up anything related to the parameters I set for the spell. All research requires parameters. This spell should locate information pertaining to the Fulcrum Obscura, the Rite, and Torvasad's lost dream. Use the scroll's enchantment to aid your search. Then return here, and we shall compare notes. Scour the stacks, Proxy. The magicka I infused into your scroll shall assist you by retrieving any relevant tomes from their resting place. Meet me in my nearby study when you have completed your search. What a curious query. Where else would I research and ponder the knowledge that the one who knows deigns to share? It is a humble refuge, nothing more. Now, we really must see what information we can draw from the stacks of Cypher's midden.
If that wagon forgot to bring provisions, I swear I'm going to start eating books.
Over here. See if that scroll Lirinil gave you actually works. Spell through that book from the stack. Quick, grab it. An ancient tome describing lost memories barely remembered in a dream? Too bad you only retrieved the pages. What a mess. Have they no respect for the written word? It's burning up! It's almost as though someone is eliminating these books the moment you find them. At least you recovered something. This stack looks promising.
Another disturbance in the currents of fate, and what do I find? The Great Eye's mortal surrogate. Once again, the water of fate ripples with unnatural disturbances. As if some huge clod tossed a rock into a still pond. And what huge clod do I find at the center of these ripples? The Great Eye's mortal surrogate. As I explained on the mortal plane, I am tasked with aligning wrinkles in the annals of fate. How I accomplish that is totally up to me. But when something alters fate's prescribed path, it makes ripples. Just like the one I followed here. Interesting. It would be good to know more about what the agents of Vermina and Periite seek in my master's realm. Did anything out of the ordinary occur while you were conducting your search? I was afraid of that. Whatever you're involved in may be beyond my jurisdiction. I suspect the secrets you hope to uncover fall under the direct protection of Apocrypha itself. The Great Eye has put precautions in place to keep them hidden. It means you have been given an impossible task, and it may taint my otherwise spotless record. This is not good. Not good at all. Take whatever you learned and bring it to Larimel the Wise. Hopefully she can make sense of this conundrum. Of course not. Why would you? You're only mortal. You were selected to help Hermaeus Mora save Apocrypha and Nirn. To do that, you must uncover the very secrets the Great Eye's enemies pursue. Secrets that can unravel reality as we know it. Obviously, everything of Apocrypha is of Hermaeus Mora. Only through the Great Eye's will could the sacred tomes be destroyed. You were chosen, and then I was unlucky enough to become involved. For good or ill, our fates have become tangled. For me to complete my task, you must succeed in yours. Which is clearly impossible since you can't overcome Apocrypha's protections. Which means you won't be able to save fate. So I suppose it doesn't really matter. Reality will unravel soon enough.
Friend, Laramil is waiting for you in her study.
The Midden stacks have been reluctant to yield the answers I had hoped for.
Apocrypha itself works against you. But the Great Eye's surrogate had some success.
Indeed. Show me, Proxy. Is it true? Were you able to successfully gather research on the relic, the rite, and the lost dream? Every time I thought I found something relevant, it crumbled or burned up before I could examine it. So you experienced something similar? As though the stacks were actively trying to keep the information hidden. Still, you managed to save some of the research. A reflection of your role as Fate's proxy, perhaps. Let me peruse these pages. This implies the relic was specifically created to reveal hidden secrets. Do these secrets pertain to the ancient cipher's report regarding the dream of a lost memory? And this last one? Could the enemy be seeking the infinite panopticon? Only one of Hermaeus Mora's most secure repositories of secret knowledge. It exists within a pocket realm of Apocrypha, but the entrance constantly shifts locations. Of course, they must be using the Fulcrum Obscura to reach the Panopticon. You and Gadain must use the part of the relic you possess to do the same as the enemy. Locate the entrance to the Panopticon. There are cairns throughout the realm. Sprinkle this dust of conjunction on 3 of them, then let Gadain apply the relic. Applying the dust to the 3 cairns I marked on your map will form a matrix of magicka. Gadain shall use the relic on each. Then I can perform a ritual to locate the Panopticon's entrance. I shall also give Gadain a gift, something to protect him. A charm that will provide Gadain with some measure of safety as you travel through Apocrypha. Please keep him safe, Proxy. Even with the charm, he seems overly fragile. Each cairn should glow after the successful application of dust and relic. Research is often a series of trials and errors, but yes, this should work. In addition to its normal properties, the relic should also seek out its other half. After you activate the 3 cairns, return here. Then I shall complete the ritual. Gadain, take this charm. It shall mark you as my guest in Apocrypha, and keep you safe.
That's most thoughtful, Laramil. Thank you.
The infinite panopticon is kept hidden for a good reason, Laramil.
Which is why we must locate it and protect it from the enemy.
This is the sort of quandary that makes my tentacles twitch.
New faces appear, but not ones I have known, and not known in time. A presence beneath us shifts. A shift anew that reveals untold changes to our plane.
Good to get stocked up.
Do you think Laramil has read all these books? I just need to hold the relic out like so. It almost feels alive in my hand. It worked! Look how it glows!
Very smart. Laramil's tapping into the realm's currents of fate to find the Panopticon.
Looking stronger already.
Keepers are never going to believe this. Usually, when we misplace a relic, we find it
Our
behind
fate
a couch in
arrived.
the Abbey.
We have fallen. You approach a mere shadow, mortal. The remnants break under the assault of invaders. Perhaps this is our Lord's will. Do you know the Dream Carvers? The servants of Vermina? As we speak, they tear apart our fortress, the Cenotaph. The remnants were Blades of Lord Hermaeus Mora. He imbued us with a portion of himself, so we could defend his realm. For eons, this pact held. Now, the Dream Carvers may take our gifts for themselves. We secured the pact inside a space called the Crux. Should the Dream Carvers enter this space, our gifts become theirs to steal. Mortal, the invaders cannot gain these powers. Help us purge them from the Cenotaph. We reward aid when given. Any effort you provide puts us in your debt. The Cenotaph?
Another can.
Stay ready. Never know what else might be headed our way.
Stand close and let me shield you. Laramil protects us both. Roll out of there! Give me a moment to focus the Fulcrum Obscura. It almost feels alive in my hand. The can is glowing. We did it! Two cans activate. Laramil's amazing. Who else could help us find the Panopticon?
Useful. Hold on to that.
Two cans activated.
Even if I don't get any bites, watching them dart around, I don't know, it relaxes me. Impressive. See, work is for people who don't know how to fish. You could craft something nice with that.
There's the final can. Stand close and let me shield you. Dust applied. Now to use the relic.
Let's not depend.
Done. Let's return to Laramil's study and let her know she can proceed. Laramil's amulet can protect us both.
Who's next?
Closer to me, friend.
Have you found any ciphers or strange grimoires in your travels, stranger? There are tomes missing from our collection and several ciphers as well. If you come across them in your travels, bring them back. I would be grateful. Talaxalt is dead? That is unfortunate. She was a promising cipher. I looked forward to many profitable discourses with her, but Apocrypha holds many dangers for mortals. What kind of situation could she have gotten herself into? Why, this is the first volume of the Numinous Grimoire. It's one of the tomes that went missing from our collection. A dangerous book of forbidden knowledge. It destroys the mind of any mortal who reads it. I'd better take that. This is troubling. Talaxalt should have known better than to meddle with a numinous grimoire. I must look into this. Thank you for bringing back this book, and the news of Cipher Talaxalt's fate. Here, a reward for your trouble. A strange tale. Why would this mysterious A kill a Cipher?
The cans have been activated, Laramil.
Well done. Now, to complete the ritual. I feel the ebb and flow of Apocrypha. Some guide me, others strike.
Laramil, do be careful.
I told you. Apocrypha doesn't give up its secrets without a price.
Got it! Curate Gidane's concern is appreciated but unwarranted, Proxy. I have been sifting through Apocrypha's secrets long enough to know my limits. And the ritual performed just as I hoped it would. Still, I could use a moment to regain my strength. The ritual directed me to the desolate northwest reaches of the Chroma Incognito. I sense the entrance we seek there, as well as the other half of the Fulcrum Obscura. Our enemy must have also located the entrance, or is close to doing so. Let me mark the location on your map. Go quickly, Proxy. I shall follow and meet you there after I make sure Curate Gidane gets back to Nern safely. Go to the northwest region of the Chroma Incognito and see what you can find, Proxy. I shall catch up with you in due course. Only what I read. It exists outside the time and space of Apocrypha, hidden from all. It supposedly contains many of Hermaeus Mora's most closely guarded secrets. The interior is said to be so bizarre that the very sight drives mortal minds insane. Do not fear. My decades of study have made me mostly impervious to the horrors of forbidden knowledge. And you are Fate's proxy. You should be able to survive a visit to the pocket dimension. Besides, to save both realms, we have no other choice. Screwed. Please make sure Curate Gidane returns safely to Necrom. His work here is done.
But we still haven't recovered the other half of the Fulcrum Obscura.
Listen to Laramil, mortal. Your mind would melt the moment you stepped into the infinite panopticon.
But... Oh, very well. I'll return to Necrom and see if I can learn anything more about the hidden kindred or Master Shelreni. Do be careful, my friends.
no, no! The Master of Secrets will certainly flay me for this. Ah, have mercy. You've been sent to capture me, haven't you? It was an honest mistake. I'm working to get Hermaeus Mora's faded glyphic back. I promise. Please don't imprison me. Oh, fathomless prince, that's a relief. To think I let myself be spooked by a mere mortal. Sorry. You see, I may have accidentally sent a prized possession of my masters-to-be unwoven. I don't suppose you'd help poor Ogle. The forges of Underweave are a dangerous place. Ogle was made for watching and studying, not fighting. But you seem resilient. Help me find my master's faded glyphic, and I'll be sure to make it worth your while. Wonderful. My master's treasure was mistakenly marked for unweaving, so we must hurry and find it before it's destroyed. My watchling sight should help you navigate Underweave. The entrance is close by. You can take the lead. Far without my boon to guide you through Underweave. You should be able to see a magical trace of my master's faded glyphic. We must find it before it's unwoven. Watch your step as you make your way through Underweave. The guards and administrators won't stand for anyone interrupting their work. And don't get me started on the dangers posed by some of these fates. Our most dangerous fates are magically tagged. Their presence leaves markers we can follow. We don't want to lose track of a particularly menacious anomaly, after all. My watchling sight makes it so you can see these markers. Absolutely. I've tuned my sight to your mortal senses. You can only see the magical traces specific to my master's glyphic. They should look like blue vapors and smell like a mortal child's tears. Can we get going now?
must examine the
The glyphic assemblage. This is where fated glyphics are collected and judged by watchlings such as myself. Try to avoid eye contact as we continue through the underweed. Not all its attendants are as polite as I am. No, this can't be right. There are so many paths. Why are there so many paths? We're doomed. I'm doomed. We can't possibly find my master's glyphic now. Stupid, Ogle, stupid! Master keeps the most dangerous fates down here. Of course it would be difficult to navigate. Numerous paths, endless options. This was a hopeless endeavor from the start. I'm a useless watchling who deserves to be unwoven. The Master's fated glyphic could be anywhere. It may have even been fed into one of the Nemesis looms already. This is it for me, mortal. Cherish the moments you shared with Ogle, because I am not long for this plane. The Nemesis looms unmake everything. By now, the glyphic's been reduced to unwoven strands, sputtering fragments of a former fate. I just know it. There are too many paths to follow. I need a moment to think, mortal. This is all too much. It's no use. I'm done for. Wait, what is that?
For once, a pleasant surprise. I'm actually happy to see you, meddler. My work in the streams has come to fruition. But never mind that, there's more work ahead. Over here, if you please. I was wondering if this was the day you meet me for the first time. You'll be pleased to learn you're just in time to help me. I know where the fated glyphic is, so there's no need for that silly boon. Besides, you'll look ridiculous. Ah, this again. You may not have met me yet, but I've met you. I am quite familiar with you and your meddling antics. Now, let's focus on the matter at hand. It's very important that I don't miss my chance to access Mora's fated glyphic. Forces beyond your understanding ordained that I must come into possession of this glyphic. Since Hermaeus Mora rarely lets such a valuable object leave his personal collection, I simply charmed the Watchling into misplacing it. Yes, I deceived the Watchling. How morally gray of me. Listen closely. You need me to locate the glyphic for your Daedric friend. However, the Nemesis looms make my presence here tenuous. If you can shut them off, you'll help everyone. Good! You're always one for action, aren't you? The Nemesis looms are powerful devices that unweave bits of reality. For example, these failed fates. You'll find them contained in the Nulla Factory, just ahead, past the cells. I'll meet you there. Thaddeus Cosma, a traveler on tides of time and reality. But it really isn't important. That's not to say I'm not important. I am, but that's neither now nor when. All you need to know is that when our paths cross, reality itself may be at stake.
You charmed me?
If it's any consolation, Watchling, you performed your role admirably. Now, to the Nemesis looms. It will take the two of us to disable each loom.
My role? I didn't play any role in... Hey! Get back here!
Mechanism, and I'll do the same here. That should deactivate the loom.
There is only one role I play, and it's in service to the Prince of Knowledge. How dare you imply otherwise?
Aura's clerk is dead.
Stay ready. Never know what else might be headed our way.
Presence solidifying. Come now, let's shut this one down as well.
A clerk? What a wild underestimation of my role.
On the contrary, I couldn't have done this without you. Onward! Unlikely. Well, perhaps. Nothing to worry about now. That's the next Disable the mechanism!
If my master's fated glyphic is destroyed, then what was the point of all this?
Worry not. With the looms disabled, we need only check the Underweave's trash heap. Onwards, meddler!
The trash heap? Oh, the tides, take me away. It's already been unwoven!
Not ideal, but not unexpected. Meddler, a word, if you please.
Not ideal?
It's unfortunate we couldn't reach the glyphic before its unweaving, but all is not lost. If we work quickly, we should be able to salvage the magics still held within the fractured glyphic. I'll need your assistance once more, of course. I took steps to prepare for this possibility. The benefit of shutting down the Nemesis looms was twofold. It allowed me to maintain a more stable presence in this realm, and it unhindered my spellcasting abilities. We'll take the glyphic's remains to the heart of Underweave. There, I should be able to siphon enough energy to restore it. But be prepared. The heart may be heavily guarded. Bring what's left of the glyphic and meet me there, Meddler. Let's hurry along, then. The heart of Underweave can be found to the south, on the other side of the courtyard. I'll meet you there. Just wade across the detritus of failed fates and go up the steps. Can't miss it. First of all, the active Nemesis looms muddied my sight. I had no way to know where the glyphic was. Secondly, there's no use in crying over spilled fates. The sooner we get to the heart, the sooner we can put this all behind us. It's a simple matter of temporal reversal. With the looms no longer operating, I'll be able to draw on the full power of the Underweave. In fact, do you have any wine you'd like rapidly aged? I kid, of course. Let's get moving. Well done. Now, out to the courtyard. We'll meet in the heart of Underweave.
Ogle has a bad feeling about this.
Fractured glyphic on the altar. There's not a moment to lose. Almost there. A bit further. Quick! Grab the glyphic before the entropic bubble collapses.
It's back. My master's faded glyphic is really back.
Time really puts a kink in your neck. Let's reconvene outside on that. I'm sure this display of temporal magic raises your alarms.
Yes, yes. Let's leave before the guards come and take Ogle away.
That'll teach them not to cross us. Of course you are.
Glad to see you didn't stumble into a hole in reality. You really do make an invaluable field assistant, Meddler. Even your watchling friend here played his part expertly. Now please, the Glyphic. I can't stand to wait any longer. Curious. I've handled my fair share of fated Glyphics, but something about this one seems almost familiar. Like a tone ringing at the edge of my memory. A song, perhaps. A lullaby? It's no secret my travels take me far and wide. I go to places far beyond what a simple compass or map might show. And in my travels, I heard an interesting rumor. That the Prince of Knowledge had found a special fate. My fate, in fact. I believe it does. Whether it's one fate of many or a singular inevitable fate, I won't know until I activate it. Funny, after all this I find myself hesitating. Give me a moment, Meddler. Perhaps take this time to calm your watchling friend.
It's not a good idea to look at your own fate. I wonder why my master is so fond of that particular one. Speaking of fate, you certainly helped me salvage my own. To think I came this close to being tossed into the Nemesis looms. I wish I could say I enjoyed our adventure together, mortal. However, you and I both know it was far too distressing to be fun. Still, this one...
Well, here goes nothing, Cosma. Thaddeus, you must listen closely. The fate of the plains depends on it. So the rumors were true. Mora really did learn my fate. Don't talk over me! Understand that when the time comes, you must say no. I must say no? What in oblivion am I talking about? In my timeline, things didn't go exactly to plan. But I hope you'll glimpse this causality in enough time to change our fate. It seems the only person who can fix a Thaddeus Cosma mess is Thaddeus Cosma. How exciting.
start than under.
By all the tomes of Apocrypha, we found the entrance to the infinite Panopticon. The ritual worked, Proxy. We located the entrance to the infinite Panopticon. At least, until it moves again. Let us head inside and try to stop the hidden kindred from locating the secret they seek. I know not which of our enemies have entered the Panopticon, but the ritual latched onto both the hidden entrance and the other half of the Fulcrum Obscura. They must have used the relic to find this place, not unlike how we did it. Legends say the Panopticon is an endless labyrinth of rooms and passages, but nothing inside conforms to reality as we know it. It protects some of Hermaeus Mora's most precious secrets, and powerful guardians roam its lengths. Shall we proceed? Prepare yourself, Proxy. We should both be able to withstand a short visit to the Panopticon. But that does not mean we can ignore the dangers. Steel your mind and harden your will. When you are ready, let us head inside. We know they seek detail. They believe so. We have entered the infinite Panopticon. But where are the catalogers?
That hunger is native to Apocrypha. See how it shifts between the layers of reality? Attack while it's shifted, and its energy can power my ghost sight. Ghost sight, you probably wouldn't have survived that.
Careful, Proxy. I sense corruption in the air.
Right. This malignancy allows the corrupted guardians to phase between layers of reality. We destroyed one sensor of corruption, but I sensed more above us.
What did you do? The corruption has left.
my ghost sight. There's something nearby. Another sensor destroyed. Without my ghost sight, you'd never find them.
Well done. The corruption's hold weakens.
Should clear on its own now.
Whatever you just did, I sense the corruption fading away. Let us talk. Whatever you did, it worked. The corruption dissipates even as we speak. According to Blightcrown's notes, they are using the corruption as some sort of method to avoid detection. Is that how they plan to elude the gaze of the one who knows? I believe so. He has somehow combined the power of dream with the power of pestilence to shift between the layers of this reality. They are here, but not here. Effectively hidden from the all-seeing gaze of Hermaeus Mora. The power of the ritual we use to locate the Panopticon lingers. We can use it to focus on the portion of the Fulcrum Obscura that Torvasad and Blightcrown carry. We can follow its trail directly to them. I shall concentrate the residual power of my ritual into a final tracking spell. Follow where the energy leads. This door, Proxy. Hermaeus Mora has set a guardian gaze to protect the way ahead. We must divert its attention to cross the chamber. How they distracted the Guardian Gate.
The Guardian's vision is similar to my ghost sight. Nothing escapes its notice.
Find and activate the remaining rooms. Another room. The Guardian appears wrapped up by those Periite runes.
Activate all of the corrupted runes, and we should be able to see past the eye.
Now, through the portal to the north.
looks like all the others to me.
Have faith, diseased one. This eye contains the memory of the dream we seek.
Then let's get this over with. I can't hide us between the layers of reality much longer.
Ah, fate's mortals. I have no wish to harm you. Turn back and let us finish what we started.
They dare enter one of Hermaeus Mora's forbidden memories. We must follow them. Let me open a portal. There.
Proceed carefully. Between the energy here and Blightcrown's manipulation of reality, Lyramil's portal could behave erratically. I knew it! But not what Lyramil intended, and now she's missing. Spellcasting.
Now make him leave!
Look above! Eye of Motion of Lyramil's portal deposited up on the ceiling! I knew it! Blightcrown's manipulation of the layers of reality caused Lyramil's spell to splinter. Well, step on through, and hopefully we'll reach the layer we're looking for. Different layers of reality is disconcerting. Quick, into that portal! This one doesn't get us there. I'm going to start making things explode. Finally, the Eye of Mora, the walkway above.
Skill issue. does.
You're as transparent as I am. And look, there's Torvasart.
We're in memory of Hermaeus Mora, mortal. Here, no harm may befall us. I suggest we use this opportunity to confer. When dealing with matters of fate, meetings such as this are inevitable. Know that I am Torvasard, and know that we need not be adversaries in these matters. I simply seek an ancient dream, barely remembered. Lost knowledge, nothing more. Is that what Hermaeus Mora and his high elf lackey told you? Can you imagine any revelation that possesses such power? No. This is about he. All I have is fragments of a dream. Even Vermina could not help me recall it. But we remembered enough to get us this far. Hermaeus Mora stole this knowledge from us. I do not wish to harm you, mortal. To harm anyone. But I will learn the truth. The pompous mortal riddled with disease. The memory rejected him. We entered together, but I stand here, alone. Except for you. But worry not for Periite's priest. Blightcrown has skills. It should be a simple matter for him to return to Nirn. I will continue my search. You, however, should turn back. Wandering the memories of a Daedric prince is dangerous for one such as I. For you, such a journey will most likely prove fatal. I would hate to see Fate's Chosen reach such an ignoble end. Heed my words, mortal.
If I learned anything as a Televani Magister, it's this. When a Dremora tells you to go right, you go left. Let's see what this memory contains. Dream Carvers. Prince Vermina's Dremora clan. Markings on the walls. Get him.
Who's better than us? Nobody.
I won't let you do this, Fate Forger!
It is already done. You will forget this ever happened. Everyone will. It is the only way to preserve reality.
Damn you, Mora! Damn! No!
Make all of reality. Come on. We need to find Torvasard.
Mora's grand betrayal. Once I restore Vermina's statue, the process of restoring the memory will begin. I suggest you defend yourself.
Prince of dreams and nightmares.
Find the soul gem for that weapon of yours. Let's see what you're made of.
Threaten all of reality. This memory has changed. Chosen, speak with me. I erased all evidence of this moment, and of the events that led to the loathsome action I was forced to perform. But I could not strip it from my own memory. And now that misstep has borne bitter fruit. What did the Dremora tell you, Chosen? Torvasad spoke true. Forbidden knowledge and secrets are my prime concern. Much of what I hoard serves to protect all the realms of existence. This particular secret, however, must stay forgotten. Even this slight recollection threatens reality. Torvasad found a way to slip past the eyes that see all and entered a memory he should have had no ability to access. And yet, here we are. He restored that which I destroyed. And now this recollection is no longer forgotten. The threads fray, but have not yet snapped. Torvasad and my enemies recall a fraction of the memory, but the most devastating secret remains locked away. Return to your allies. The situation can still be salvaged if you and Laramil work together. Use this portal and return to Laramil's study. We will talk again soon.
There you are. I was afraid you might have been lost in the void after my portal fractured. When the opportunity to enter a place of forbidden knowledge was snatched from me, the frustration was nearly overwhelming. Oh, well. Tell me what you saw inside the memory, Proxy. Ah, the event that began this cavalcade of fate. Of course, such drastic measures must have been taken for good reason. The one who knows keeps referring to the unraveling of reality if we fail in our efforts. What else did you experience? With that level of power, Torvasad is clearly more than your average Dremora. Much more. Does that mean the secret has been remembered? Have we failed? Shall reality begin unraveling all around us? Then only some of the lost memory has been restored. The most dangerous portion of the secret must still be hidden. Very well. If you plan to honor your contract and still want to help save Apocrypha and Nern, I shall assist you as best I can. I would have it no other way, Proxy. We followed Hermaeus Mora's enemies from one end of Apocrypha to the other, and we learned what they seek. You have done well, and the one who knows wants to reward your efforts. Take this. Then, we shall see. What you described. How could Torvasad change a memory of Hermaeus Mora? How could he alter what happened so long ago? Such a power should not exist. This sensation. Bafflement. I do not care for it. Torvasad has allies as well. Master Shelreni, Vermina, and Periite. Blightcrown and the hidden kindred cultists. They seek to restore memories stolen from them by Hermaeus Mora. And from what you saw, Torvasad has started the restoration process. Yes, most puzzling. Torvasad's next step must involve the right Master Shelreni seeks to draw from Meln's Black Book. Return to Necrom and find Curate Gadain. See what Shelreni is up to. Meanwhile, I have other inquiries I wish to explore. Remember, as long as Shelreni possesses the Black Book, she can complete her rite. If they fully unlock this forgotten secret, multiple realms are doomed. I shall meet you at the bookshop in Necrom after I complete my investigations. Torvasad and Blightcrown could be anywhere, but Master Shelreni has roots in the Televani Peninsula. If anyone can help you navigate the complexities of the Dunmer Great Houses, it is Curate Gadain. Investigating Shelreni is our best option. Perhaps that is one of the possibilities I plan to explore. However, Torvasad demonstrated powers unheard of for a typical Dremora. He may have other abilities. I need to proceed with caution. And Blightcrown serves Periite. Another obstacle. A cult composed of followers of Vermina and Periite, princes that usually work against each other, may be easier to uncover. I shall see what I can learn from my contacts among Hermaeus Mora's faithful. We will succeed, Proxy. We have to. Blightcrown and Shelreni concocted the dream affliction with the help of Vermina and Periite. It allowed them to avoid detection by shifting into alternate layers of reality. It even affected Mora's guardians. And we know they plan to improve it. If they can perfect their formula, what better way to steal the most dangerous secret in Apocrypha than from under the gaze of the one who knows? But if we can stop Master Shelreni and they cannot find the secret they seek, it shall not matter. Perhaps that is one of the possibilities I plan to explore. However, Torvasar demonstrated powers unheard of for a typical Dremora. He may have other abilities. I need to proceed with caution. And Blightcrown serves Periite, another obstacle. A cult composed of followers of Vermina and Periite, princes that usually work against each other, may be easier to uncover. I shall see what I can learn from my contacts among Hermaeus Mora's faithful. We will succeed, Proxy. We have to. Blightcrown and Shelreni concocted the dream affliction with the help of Vermina and Periite. It allowed them to avoid detection by shifting into alternate layers of reality. It even affected Mora's guardians. And we know they plan to improve it. If they can perfect their form, this portal will return you to Necrom.
Master Shelreni murdered me to avoid the scrutiny of the Assembly of Masters. What else might she do to further her ambitions?
All that stuff you hear about Apocrypha containing horrors beyond.
Mortal returns. I thought I recognized that wrinkle in the fabric of fate.
I hoped Laramil would be with you. We have news. Scroot and I uncovered the most interesting news. The Assembly of Masters learned of Master Shelreni's recent activities and has called for a conclave. They plan to strip her of her rank and expel her from the house. It's complicated. The Assembly of Masters consists of just their mouths. The actual Masters rarely leave their towers, and never to meet with their rivals. A conclave, however, is a different story. The Masters themselves are compelled to attend. Don't you see? When they convene the Master's Conclave, Shelreni must be on hand to contest the charges. So, we know where we can find her and when. At Tel Hulan, the Tower Hall in Old Isra. As a curate, I think I can get us into the Conclave by claiming official Necrom business. House Telvani prefers to stay on our good side, so they rarely ask too many questions of the Keepers of the Dead.
Curate or not, he'll never get into the Conclave bearing the mark of a Daedric prince. Not without my help. Underestimate Shelreni at your own peril. And do not think to just walk into a Telvani stronghold reeking of Hermaeus Mora. Either Shelreni's Daedric allies or the Conclave's own protections will spot you the moment you step across the threshold. Of course. Wasn't I the greatest magister of my time? If not for my desire for solitude, I would have been the Archmagister. Unfortunately, my spectral body isn't good for anything these days. You'll need to serve as my hands for this to work. Return to Telrentis. Around my tower, you'll find the components necessary to assemble a passable cloak of omission. Look for dried hoaxwort, a lamia-scale shawl, and an illusion tincture of my own creation. I'll tell you more when we get there.
is here! Every time someone makes fun of my accent.
Where did I bury those components? This could prove more difficult than I expected. Curses and corporeal existence! I can see why most ancestors move on instead of haunting their descendants. My mortal memories are much harder to recall than I anticipated. I don't remember where to find those components. Not exactly. Of course not. I buried the components we need in separate caches on the tower grounds. I just can't remember exactly where I put them. No matter. Use my ghost sight. It will reveal the hiding places. Remember, Telrendis is my place of power, despite Shalreni's attempts to make it her own. Here, I can easily use my magic through you. As long as I placed sigils at the spots. But be able to see my sigils through my ghost sight. There, see my sigil? I always liked this layer of reality. Dig here. Activate my ghost sight. We can work with this. Head toward my tower, and let's find a workbench to assemble the spell. I remember this old workbench. We can prepare the Cloak of Omission here. Good work. Now place the shop. Place the components, one at a time, onto the enchant. Almost done. Now sprinkle the tincture. Excellent. Now take the Cloak of Omission. Go ahead and try it on. The cloak will mask your presence and hide your connection to the Prince of Fate. You look amazing. Barely a hint of a Daedric connection. I should explain the particulars, though. Not a bad bit of work. You follow directions well. And the cloak looks perfectly dashing. Dashing, I say. Now let's head to Old Isra and meet up with Kirt Gadain. She should have gotten you access to the Conclave by now. Did I? I don't recall. But if you're asking about the Cloak of Omission, it could only shield you from so many scrying attempts. Eventually, someone will notice you. But the enchantment should last long enough for us to get our hands on Shelreni. Now that you mention it, yes. Gadain can get you on the access list. But you must play your part. Dunmer laws are labyrinthine, Televani especially. You need to invoke the proper statue to avoid suspicion. Just say the following to the sentry at the door. I hereby invoke the 26th statute of the Necrom Agreement, and then demand entry to the Conclave. Can you remember that? Once we get inside, we can meet up with Kirt Gadain. What could Shelreni be thinking? She's obviously counting on the support of two Daedric princes. But does she really expect them to magically...
In House Televani, clawing and biting our way.
Telhulen, the Tower of Halls, home to the Assembly of Masters. Remember to invoke the statute when you demand entry. And put on the cloak.
Know that, Drew. As Master Shalreni's mouth, you are prohibited from entering the Conclave.
But I must warn the Masters.
Don't worry. Your treacherous master will be dealt with soon enough.
You must warn the other Masters. I can no longer stand by and do nothing while Master Shalreni continues along this dark path. Her actions threaten the entire peninsula. You probably shouldn't, but that doesn't mean I'm lying. I admired Shalreni for her skill and power. Thought she would help me rise in the ranks. But her ambition and contempt for her fellow Telvani will doom us all. Master Shalreni made a deal with not one, but two Daedric princes. She plans to use their help to eliminate all who oppose her so she can become Archmagister. The Masters won't listen to me. They don't understand the danger. I'm not sure. Master Shalreni stopped confiding in me. But I know how she thinks. She has no respect for the Masters or this Conclave. When they move to reprimand her, she's going to show them just how powerful she's become. It will be a bloodbath.
The Master's Conclave is in session. All other business is on hold. Come back later. Necrom, Let me see. Ah, yes. You're listed as Curate Godane's attending clerk. Very good. You may go inside. I expect you'll find the curate in the assembly antechamber, as the attending magister declared the conclave for masters only.
There's Curate Godane.
Really, I must...
I insist, Curate. You do realize I wield considerable influence as Master Norvora's mouth.
Of course, but...
I could do much for you and the Keepers. Now tell me, what do you think of my book?
That's Master Norvora's mouth. We need to extract Godane this instant.
The Curate and I are busy, Outsider. I am eager to hear what he thinks of my book, Ancestors of a Humble Mouth. It's a work in progress, but at least 2 booksellers have expressed interest. Come back later. How strange. As no one but Masters are allowed inside, Master Norvora explicitly told me to wait out here until after the Conclave concluded its business. Well, obviously Master Norvora needs her spellbook. No Master should ever meet her peers without being totally prepared. I'll go and fetch it at once.
Thank you, my friend. Follow me. I know a place where we can talk privately.
Master Morena seemed exhausted. Is she well?
The healers recommended she stay in bed, but she insisted we attend the conclave. They call them so rarely, you know.
Understandable. As much as our masters despise public appearances,
we can speak freely here.
Gathering without them.
You arrived not a moment too soon, my friend. Before they decided to seal the hall, and I was trapped in that dreadful conversation with Mouth Elar, I found what we needed. Master Shalreni is here, and being held under guard until the conclave begins. And now we come to the problem. Magister Gothran arrived from Sadrith Mora to oversee the Master's Conclave. He immediately expelled all but the Telvani Masters and placed a ward on the door. There's no way to get into the assembly hall. Sadly, disabling a ward placed by a Magister is beyond my capabilities. If you have any ideas, please, share them. Otherwise, I fear the Masters are on their own in there.
A Magister? To counter Magister magic, eh? Good idea. Let's go disable the ward. A ward needs anchors. Use my ghost sight to spot them. See them? One on either side of a door. I'll lend you my power to disable them. Magister Gud is good, but I'm better. Let's enter the assembly hall.
This is a closed session. What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Now, Gothrin, surely such restrictions don't apply to a Magister and his proxy.
Meln the Mouthless, a spirit. No matter. I will not tolerate your antics.
Nothing in our statutes precludes a dead Magister from participating in a conclave. Now, hear what my proxy has to say.
Very well. Step forward. You stand on shaky ground, mouth for the mouthless. What's so important that Magister Meln dares interrupt this closed session of the Master's Conclave? And Magister Meln thought us so ineffective that he had to swoop in and save the day? How presumptuous of him. Do you really think one rogue master is a match for this assembly? So I heard. Hence the reason I decided to leave my comfortable tower and come all this way to personally take charge of this conclave. The Masters will hear the charges, question the subject, and render swift judgment. Is that why you're here? To add another charge to Shelreni's list of crimes? Then so noted. Perhaps that's why she turned herself over without any fuss or bother, so that she can plead for mercy. Perhaps I'll be lenient. Perhaps not. Enough of this nonsense. I listened to the concerns of your Magister and heard his allegation. Now we are finished. Meln may stay if he wishes. That is his right. But you and the curate should go and leave us to our work.
Over here. I forgot how boring my so-called peers can be. Pity Shelreni didn't eliminate a few more of my rivals before we noticed. But your master, Meln. I have fond memories of his many antics. That's why I wanted a word with you. Your master has delayed these proceedings long enough. Master Shelreni reached above her station and must be dealt with. Anything that postpones that and increases the time I must spend in the company of my so-called peers will not be tolerated. Murder, you say? That is serious. I suppose anything can be expected from a master who makes pacts with Daedra. We really need to strip her of her rank and exile her. Well, if you must see her, she's being held in a meeting room down the East Hall.
I don't understand this necessity for debate. If it were up to me, we'd get right to the vote. Nothing anyone has to say will change my mind about Shelreni. Now then, is Magister Meln really dead? Meln may have confused Magister Gothrin, but there's no provision for a dead Telvani participating in a conclave. It's just not done. Is that a threat? Master Morena led Shelreni through the East Door for making similar pronouncements only a few moments ago. If that can happen to a master, imagine what's in store for a lowly mouth like you.
There's a meeting room just to the right. This must be where they're holding her.
Shelreni's gone, but What's that tipped-over bottle over there? That's pure essence of dream. Let me cast a spell to see what happened here.
What was that? Just a little gift from the Prince of Dreams. Soon, you will do exactly as I say.
You won't get away with this.
I already have. And with your help, I'll get away with so much more. Now let's go attend the conclave. My ascension...
Something's going on to the north. I think the conclave is starting.
We must get to the conclave. It's held in the Master's private hall to the north.
Master Shelreni, you stand accused of conspiring against your fellow Telvani, murdering Meln the Mouthless, and consorting with Daedric princes. How do you plead?
A Telvani doesn't plead. But I will kill you all before I take my sacrifice and depart.
Help me, Magister!
Shelreni, cease your actions this instant.
Use my ghost sight to disable the wards and get down there. Get up! I'm not ready to die a second time!
You're finally awake. Thank the ancestors. I thought Shelreni killed you.
We should talk, Mouth of Meln. The Mouth of the Mouthless. I suppose you want me to say that you and Meln were right. That I should have taken Shelreni's threat more seriously. Well, let's pretend I said that and move on to what needs to happen next. Yes, quite a display. She used the Conclave to formally announce her intentions. Her spell would have killed everyone, and positioned her to challenge the Archmagister for rulership of the house. Luckily, I was on hand to save the local masters. Shelreni may be a powerful master, but I am a Magister of the Telvani Council. It was a simple matter to deflect her attack while the Conclave dispersed. Then, I stabilized the portal she fled through, assuming you would want to follow her. Really now, who do you think Meln consulted when he first invented his Cloak of Omission? I see the mark of Mora upon you. House Telvani wants no part in the machinations of Daedric princes. Just make sure to kill Shelreni when you find her. Master Morena revealed her inadequacies when she allowed herself to be captured. The other masters survived. In both cases, House Telvani won. If you plan to chase Shelreni, I suggest you leave now. I'm not going to hold that portal open forever. In all honesty, no. In case you haven't noticed, we of House Telvani are a superior lot. Sentiment and mercy rarely factor into our actions. Now, step lively. That portal will close as soon as my attention wavers. Ooh, and I feel a yawn coming on.
Ancient ruin. Those mountains. This place is dedicated to their meaning.
This place think we visited the memory of it in the Eye of Mora.
Stand close and let me shield you.
You should have run.
This chamber appears promising. We should look around. Merrimil's gift protects us both. Merrimil's amulet can protect us both. Anything relevant in those papers? Was there anything in those papers about Master Shelreni or where we might find her? She writes about how Torvasard came to her, indoctrinated her into Vermina's service, how he was consumed with restoring something that was either stolen or lost, and how he insisted they find this ancient shrine. Interesting. So they sent the malachite mined from the Alavelis quarry here. And she discusses how the hidden kindred were formed to provide the workers needed to accomplish the restoration. Somehow, rebuilding a Vermina statue is the key to Torvasard's goal. This must be where that original memory took place, where Vermina and Periite think Hermaeus Mora wronged them and stole whatever it is they now seek. Let's keep going. That restored statue and Master Shelreni must be somewhere in this old ruin.
We must find Shelreni and stop her from completing this rite.
Sated and ready to take on the world, huh?
There's Shelreni and Master Morena. We need to free her.
My black book! Looks like Shelreni got past my safeguards.
Ingenious, Torvasard. Using the restored memory to open a path to Apocrypha. All we need now is for Shelreni to finish the rite and perform the sacrifice.
Shelreni's using the restored statue to focus for her aspect of Vermina. That's not good.
Away! The fate! This vessel will help restore what was taken from us all! Now! Now, my disciple. Complete the sacrifice so I may inhabit the vessel.
My guilt use my guilt sight to strike through.
Now, friend, free Morena from the binding.
This magic is unstable! Save yourselves! No! Not when we're so close!
Close my black book and take it. That should end the rite.
Taking the Black Book won't stop us, and one of you will serve just as well as a sacrifice.
No need to involve outsiders, Shelreni. Prince Vermina accepts your sacrifice and deems you a worthy vessel.
I regret the bloodshed, but soon Mora's injustice will be undone.
With this vessel, I can enter Apocrypha and strike at Mora's heart. With me, my faithful!
We have to warn Apocrypha. Let's return to the Necron bindery and find Laramel.
Hold still, and I'll open a portal back to Necron.
Neither Scroot nor I can feel Hermaeus Mora's presence. We both find this unsettling. Good, you are here. Both Scroot and I felt a sudden disturbance in the tides of fate. Something terrible has happened in Apocrypha, and Scroot and I no longer feel the presence of the one who knows. Another significant event in the annals of fate, and I missed it. But Master Shelreni is dead. And Vermina did what? Start from the beginning, Proxy. What happened at the Master's Conclave? So that was Shelreni's plan. Use whatever power the Princess provided to eliminate her rivals and move up in rank. I am glad she failed. But what happened after that? And Blightcrown decided to complete the rite anyway by sacrificing Shelreni instead. Ruthless, but in keeping with a follower of Periite. And you say this allowed Vermina to possess Shelreni's corpse. What happened next, Proxy? They cannot. Not usually. Hence all the trouble that Torvasard and his allies went through to reach this point. At least you saved the Telvani Masters and recovered Meln's Black Book. Well done. While I ponder next steps, take this. You earned it. Both Scroot and I felt the tides of fate churn and boil. Worse, neither of us has been able to commune with Hermaeus Mora since the Black Book's rite was completed at Vermina's shrine. And you say you saw Shelreni's body walk into Apocrypha, giving Vermina access to Apocrypha and a host to work through. They must know where to find the memory they seek, or they have a good idea where to look. Apocrypha is infinite. Without fate to guide us, we are lost in the dark without a candle. Blightcrown and Torvasard have ways to avoid detection. Only one viable option presents itself. We must ask Master Shelreni where Vermina has taken her body. Will you see this through, Proxy, before the disaster Mora foresaw comes to pass? Fortunately, we have two conduits to spirits not yet bound for Aetherius at our disposal. Magister Meln and Curate Gadain. Speak to Meln first. He obviously knows what happens when a Telvani mage dies.
Laramil's idea is a good one. Master Shelreni has the answer we seek, and I know how to reach her. No Telvani master worth their weight in Kwama cattle would relinquish their hold on this plane without a fight. I have no doubt we can contact Master Shelreni's spirit. Whether we can get her to cooperate, well, that's an entirely different matter. As the curate can tell you, Necron forbids summoning the dead. But there's no regulation against the dead choosing to speak to you. We don't have to summon Shelreni's spirit. We can go to her and simply request an audience. Same place you found me. In her tower, of course. We must go to Tel Barrow and search her sanctum. If her spirit lingers, she'll haunt there. Though, I'm better take Gadain with us. If she's become a vengeful spirit, his expertise might be required.
Mel, we can't just summon the dead whenever we please. It's forbidden.
Yes. Summoning is an affront to your order. But if the spirit is already there...
If I help you, I could jeopardize my standing.
We would not ask this of you if the situation was not dire.
Of course I'll help, Laramil.
I'll return to Apocrypha. See if I can find Vermina while you chase spirits. Not like I've got anything better to do.
Good luck at Telvaro, my friends. Return here with whatever you learn.
Dealing with displaced spirits is very much frowned upon by the Keepers of the Dead. I'll help, because the stakes are great, but it goes against every iota of my training. That's an aspect of our beliefs, but not the primary component. And it's different when you visit the catacombs and a spirit appears before you. I suppose if Shelreni decides to speak to us, that shouldn't violate the Codex too badly. Indeed, the recently departed are often confused, and that confusion can turn violent. I much prefer to deal with the spirits of our ancient ancestors. They may be cantankerous, but they've had enough time to reconcile to their undead existence.
Got an appointment. Thanks for watching.